I'm going to break the plug down. Oh, there it is right there. Don't have to break the plug down. It's an old ring pull tab. I guess we got rid of these about 20, that should go back in the hole, about 20 something years ago. And because it's round, it is aluminum, it's going to give us some pretty good numbers. And because it's deep in this mineralization, which is very heavy at Golden Gate Park, it's going to give us higher than usual numbers. So we're going to put all the dirt back in, make sure it looks like it's undisturbed. Get rid of the pull tab, put it in my pouch. Okay, just as good as new. Okay, I've got a target here. It's giving me a fairly repeatable signal, but there is kind of a stutter in there, which would indicate trash. I'm going to kick on the target tone ID. There's our high tone. Now it's giving me a low grunt. So, yes, it's going from minus 45 all the way up to the 80s, minus 9. There's a plus. If I increase the sweep speed, you can hear the audio tone grunting. There's minus 17. So that is not a lock-on. That is a dancing around number. And I'm going to assume that's trash. I could go into the pinpoint mode. There's just a large target here too that's affecting. We may be getting an edge target effect. There's a large target here and there's a target right there. Now I'm going to come in at this angle and you can see it's clearly breaking up even with the target tone. It's clearly breaking up and it's vacillating between low tone and high tone. So I'm going to ignore that target. Again, a bad target. This target tone is really a good feature because you can further analyze what you found. There's a chattering, again, kicking on the target tone. It's giving me a lot of iron and low conductivity tones. It's bouncing around between minus 4 and 20, 28, 32, 18. It's about 3 inches down. With a more aggressive sweep speed, it's knocking it down to the iron. That's a junk target. With the M6, if you go slow with it, the coin size rings seem to pop out a little bit better, but that's a bad target. This is giving me a lot of plus numbers in the gold area. So let's pinpoint and get this target out. Three inches down. I'm going to use a plugging device. This is what they call a plug popper. And it makes a much nicer plug, so nobody can tell you're there. It's used when the soil conditions allow it, moist soil conditions. Otherwise, we want to use a digging tool if the ground is dry and not cut a plug, because a plug will turn brown without moisture. Here, though, we've had a lot of rains in California, and this ground is very soft and got a lot of moisture, so this is an ideal tool. We're going to go down about 4 or 5 inches with it. This will go down to almost 10 inches, and I'm going to just put my shoulders over it, come across the top of the loop. I'm getting a hit in that direction. Here it's starting to break up a little bit, so we're going to break the plug in two. It's clearly in that plug, not there, so I'm going to lay this is the top portion, and I'm going to continue to break this down. See what it is. That's nothing in there, so I'm going to put that back in the plug. Keep breaking this down. Oh, we got a Zinc Penny. Those are 5% copper, 95% zinc. So that's a newer penny. Zinc pennies came out in, I believe it was 83, 84. So we're going to put this plug carefully back. It's very important that after you retrieve a target from the ground, that you put the plug back the way you found it. Because if you leave holes, or you're irresponsible, or you leave the trash that you might recover, and you don't dispose of it yourself, people are going to get upset, and eventually they're going to post signs of no metal detecting. So it is important that we put things back the way we find it, especially in a grass or a park condition. This is a beautiful park, and we want to keep it that way. I'm picking up little chatters, but that's usually deep trash. We want to ignore that. Trash. Oh, here's a nice lock on. Seems to be coin size. I'm going to hit it with a, I'm locking on about 85, 86, and it's signaling quarter. It's repeatable. I'm going to kick on the target tone. It might even be silver. It's plus 88, 89. It's registering now 50-cent piece. I'm going to exit target. Right about dead center. I'm going to plug this one. No, got it. Oh, this is silver coin. See how it comes out of the ground nice and silver? And it looks like a 1960 Ben Franklin $50. Definitely, it's going to go into my lower pouch. I don't want other coins scratching it. And we're going to put this dirt right back into the hole.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Sierra, and I'm here on Montero Beach in California with Greg Massini, who's going to be demonstrating the M6, the new M6. I'll give you a little overview of the controls that we have on it. Actually, there are so few controls on it that it's almost self-explanatory. In fact, on the back of the control box are the full instructions. I'll start with the first control. There are two knobs. The one closest to me now is the disc knob, and that is a knob that controls the degree of discrimination. What that means is the amount of targets and the nature of targets that are going to be taken out so that you don't hear them and not bothered with them. And it starts around iron and works its way up through foil and then into a good range, nickels and aluminum pull tabs. And then on up, you could actually discriminate all the way up to, but never including all of coins. It will discriminate out, for example, zinc pennies and a few other small coins. But the level of discrimination is something that is very important in operating a metal detector. And it discriminates out as it's turned to the right. So the knob is turned clockwise. It works like a chalkboard. As you turn the knob clockwise, the marker on the knob will pass certain items. For example, it starts with nails and foil, and notice